Hello. Yesterday I made a video on good hair. It's posted on my channel. Um, do black women have it? So this is part two of that because I forgot to mention something that was really critical about the movie. And as I mentioned before, if you haven't watched it, this will be kind of a spoiler. So you may want to, you know, watch another video or something like that somewhere else if you haven't seen the movie. But in it, throughout the movie, I never seen any black women, any melanated women, um, so-called black women, putting down or talking down about melanated men, our brothers. Not once did I hear any complaints about them. And let me tell you, it's not because they're perfect. That's for sure. But, you know, for whatever reason, black women, most black women, at least the women in this movie, the melanated women in this movie, did not do anything to bash our brothers. But at one point in the movie, Chris Rock went into a barbershop that was owned by a melanated brother. And, you know, there were a lot of so-called black men in there. And, you know, not all of them, a couple were asked, you know, have you ever been able to touch your black woman's hair? You know, your wife, your, you know, significant other. Have you ever touched her hair? No, I've never touched her hair in my life. Blah, blah, blah. You know, and then it got to the point of the conversation, I guess the guys got so animated about that. You know, they were like, you know, that's the reason why I prefer white women over black women because, you know, you can do more things with them in the bedroom. You can pull their hair. You can run your fingers through their hair and all that nonsense. And, you know, I'm thinking, wow, really? That's, you know, that is by design. There has been a vicious, I don't know, undercurrent of animosity between so-called black women and so-called black men. And it's really pronounced on YouTube. This is the main video platform that I use. I know there's a couple others. I'm familiar with them, and sometimes I watch videos on there, but I have an account with YouTube, and so I'm familiar with a lot of what goes on here, and sometimes YouTube will recommend videos for me to see, and some of them have to do with titles that consist of white women are better than black women, here's why, or, you know, why black women ain't worth shit, you know, according to the Snow Bunny or some shit like that. You know, they'll post, you know, and these are by black men. I don't know if they're trying to get attention, if they're trying to just get people to go to their video, get some views or whatever. I don't know what their deal is, or if they really feel this way. But I've never watched those videos. Well, I take it back. I've watched one or two and didn't agree, you know, because I feel like women of all races, there are women of all races that are beautiful. Why would you single out your own race as not being beautiful? I don't see any other race of men doing that but black men. So obviously, and you know, there are some black women that do that too, although I don't see it as much. If there is, they're feminists. Most of them are feminists. They, you know, go for that feminist dogma, and they're, you know, basically feminazis. That's what I call them, because, you know, most of them have been hurt by a man, particularly probably a black man, and you know, they think that all black men are dogs and idiots, and, you know, they hate them. And being someone that has been hurt by black men before, from my earliest recollections in my childhood to my adulthood, I understand their pain and I understand the suffering, but I don't feel that all black men are dogs or stupid or idiots or whatever. I have met some very intelligent, sexy, well-versed, just straight up 100 black men. I mean, and I've met men like that of all races, but I'm gonna stick to my race, just because I can. But I've met some really fine ass, and I'm not talking about just looks, but I've met some just fine ass black men, So, that doesn't apply just because, some men in your life have hurt you. That doesn't negate, that doesn't make sense to put down all black men. And it's just the same with black men. I've talked to some of them that are just like, black women are this, black women are that. They're self-hating and they wear all these weaves and stuff because they don't love themselves, and they wear all this dye in their hair and blonde and bleach their skin and all this blah 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 blah, and they're generalizing. They're saying all black women do that every black woman they've been with, they haven't been able to be sexually free with, just because they can't run their fingers through their hair during the sex act. It's ridiculous. I'm like, if you're only with that woman because of the condition of her hair, something's wrong with you, period. Why don't you grow some hair to a certain length and let that woman rub her fingers through your hair? Why don't you grow some hair on your head? I ain't talking about down below. Grow some hair on your head of a certain length and let that woman rub her fingers through your hair and be happy with that. How about that? But speaking as someone who used to wear extensions, I wore a weave one time and I really didn't care for it. I thought the services were overpriced, and then my hair grew really quickly, so I would have to maintain it all the time, and I was just like, I'm not spending that kind of money. Because I didn't have that kind of money to spend, and I'm glad I didn't, because I wouldn't want to spend that kind of money on some nonsense like that. To me, it's nonsense, because I can grow my own hair. For some people, it's a necessity if they can't grow their hair, or if that's just what they like. To me, it's nonsense, because that's not what I like. So being as someone that used to wear weaves and extensions and wigs and stuff like that, and someone who used to pass that off as their own hair, I can say I understand where they're coming from, but that's a shallow reason to want to be with someone. It's because of their hair. I know we all are attracted to different people because of looks. For men, that's a big thing because they're visual people, supposedly, whatever. But I am one of many so-called black women who grow their own hair and don't have any chemicals in it, and don't plan on putting any chemicals in it. I'm even getting gray hair, and I do not want to put any dye in it. I might do some henna, maybe, but I'm not really pressed about it. I'm just letting it grow the way it wants to grow. And I'm also my man loves running his fingers through my hair. So not all of us have this type of hair where you can't run your fingers through it. So it was just a ridiculous segment of the movie. I thought that I can't stop looking at my hair. It's so beautiful. But it's a ridiculous part of the movie, and I thought that the reason why the movie probably got a big okay, a big thumbs up to be created and brought to the big screen, is because of this animosity that black men in the movie have towards black women. And someone that is a lot more intelligent than me, he's just been in the metaphysical game for a long time. He doesn't adhere to any religious system or dogma or anything like that. He just is very spiritual, very wise, very I would say he has a lot of integrity and things like that. He said that he was speaking of some feminazis that came after him on something that he promoted, and they a couple of these girls didn't agree, and they were feminists, basically feminazis, because they were just dogmatic about their resistance to a male authority figure. They were taking some classes from him. He gives spiritual classes and things like that, and so they were taking some classes from him, and they saw that he promoted this something or other that they didn't agree with, and questioned him about it, and when they didn't appreciate his answer, they dropped the class. And he was saying, I'm well read on the feminist movement, and I could have educated them on this. But he said, I'm not going to do that. Just because I'm, not speaking about a topic doesn't mean that I don't know anything about it. And so he went on to say, the same thing that I mentioned. As a matter of fact, that was a quote from him, that there is just this undercurrent of viciousness, and I'm going to add animosity between black men and black women. And he said, his words, he said, this is by design. Now, he didn't go into detail, but I'm guessing that, it's by design by people who have the power to promote this kind of stuff, and they'll use different people and different platforms to do that. So, that is what I saw in that movie. It took me right back to what he was saying, and right back to a lot of those dumbass videos that are on YouTube talking about white women are better than black women and all this kind of stuff. I think that's nonsense. I think that's nonsense. I mean, if you like white women, fine. If that's exclusively who you want to date, fantastic. You date who you want to date. Because I've dated outside of my race. Oh, and let me tell you, a lot of those same men that bash black women and say they're jealous of black men because they're dating white women and all this kind of shit, they're the same ones that will hoop and holler when they see, make all kinds of stupid noise when they see a black woman like me dating outside her race, whether it be a white man or Latino or, whatever. They make a lot of noise when they see that. I've had it happen just with me and my white friends, just minding our own business, having fun together. And, we're not even in a relationship. We're just friends. And, black men will see us together, because I had a lot of male friends. I just like I used to like hanging with guys a lot, because I thought that I couldn't get along with women. But it was really me. It was ultimately me that was the problem. But anyway, at the time I had a lot of male friends. And I really liked hanging around guys. I didn't care what nationality they were. And I had this really good friend, and I'm going to call him D. And I was attracted to him, and he was attracted to me, I believe. But we just decided not to be in a relationship and just be friends, just because of the circumstances that we were under at that time. It wasn't, the right time to be in a relationship. So we just decided to be friends, and we would just hang out. And we lived in this mixed race neighborhood, but some sections of it was some of it was, pockets of it was with black people, pockets of it with Asians and stuff like that. You never hear anything from the Asians. They're not going to say anything. But the black people, even black women, I couldn't believe it. Some of them would be, just saying stupid stuff. But it was mostly the black men that would say, that would give the dirtiest looks and would say just stupid stuff. I'm not going to repeat what they said. It doesn't matter. But, some white people do that too, because he told me that when we were walking down the street one day, it was a group of, I guess, of white people in a car, and the one guy mouthed the words "nigger lover" to him. And he didn't want to tell me at first because he didn't want, to hurt my feelings. But I said, hey, there's people like that everywhere. I'm not going to let that stop me hanging around from somebody I like hanging around. They can kiss my, trying to stop cursing as much. But anyway, all of this movie brought about all this stuff. I hesitated to watch the movie at first because I thought it was going to be a bash fest on black women. But it wasn't. It was just that one segment where it was our brothers doing it. And I'm like, what is up? Can somebody explain to me what is going on? I think a lot of us are buying into this this perception that, I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend to know what is really going on between the races and where it started. I'm not exactly sure where this all started, but I'm someone that has been mistreated by black men, but I don't think all black men are dogs. I just don't. I don't have any ill will exclusively towards black men. I don't think white men are better than black men, or nothing like that. Now, my preference of dating right now, I was really attracted to white men at one point, but I'm not as attracted anymore. I'm more attracted to Puerto Ricans. So, I kind of like Puerto Ricans a little bit more now, but I don't think any man, whatever my dating preference is, whether I start dating Puerto Rican man or not, I still don't think he is better than black men just because I'm dating him. I think he's better because that's who I want to date. That's who I like. He's the best for me, and I'm the best for him. So I don't know. That's the way I look at it. It's just really ridiculous. That kind of stuff used to make me upset when I would see those videos from my brothers saying that, white women are better than black women. It's like the ultimate race baiting game. It's just ridiculous. So anyway, I just wanted to add that. That is in the movie, and if you watch it, you'll see it. I just thought that was ridiculous. But the rest of the movie was pretty good. It was pretty good. Some of it was sad, as I mentioned in the previous video, but a lot of it was pretty good. They had a couple of natural sisters on there. One that had been natural for a long time. She looked like she had been natural for years. She used to wear perms, and she used to wear her hair straight and all that. She used to wear relaxers. And then there was this younger sister who was kind of getting bashed by her classmates, because she was wearing a natural kinky fro. And it was beautiful to me. I loved it. Being one that, I used to wear kinky fro. My hair has grown out so long that, I put some micros in it. and it don't stick up anymore. But when it was shorter, like it was on this long, it used to just stick up, and I loved it. I used to wear twists and twist outs and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, I kind of felt sorry for that young lady, and because her classmates who had relaxed hair said that, because her hair was kinky, if she was looking for a job at their law firm or some kind of business establishment, they wouldn't take her seriously because of her hair. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? What? It was just ridiculous. So I don't know if that young girl is going to watch this or not, or young lady is going to watch this. But if so, honey, you rock your fro. Rock it. Rock your natural. Don't be ashamed of it. And if an employer is going to not hire you based on the texture of your hair, then keep pushing. Keep it pushing. Keep it moving. Don't even be bothered with something like that. I know of a young lady who she has a physical impairment. So I guess maybe she felt like she was, she had to accept this job. But before she accepted this job, she had the most beautiful, thickest, gorgeous, locks. They were just beautiful and long. Her hair would just grow like wildfire. It was so thick and beautiful and long. She said that, because she's kind of a little heavy set. So she said that, the locks were too heavy and they would make her sweat too much. Maybe, but I think she mostly cut them off because she had to take this job. She had just finished college and, she got bills to pay. So she had to take this job. But I think that's sad when you have to choose between cutting off your hair for a job. She's not even in the food industry. I could see maybe if she was in the food industry or something, and then you got hair nets. What an invention. So anyway, this went a lot longer than what I thought than what I would have hoped it would go. I was just kind of rambling a little bit. But anyway, thanks for listening, and this is part 2 of Good Hair. Do Black Women Have It? Yes, we do. And we grow our own hair, not extensions, not weaves. Yes, black women do have good hair. Wow, what a no-brainer. Later.